Hey everybody, Dave here, and finally it has arrived, Cities Skylines. It came out on the 10th of March, and here we are on the 18th, and I'm just now doing a video for it, and I probably won't even get it uploaded today, but that's the way things go. I kind of have to work around other people's schedules, and this is the quickest I could get a review done for it. So honestly, most people that wanted to buy the game have probably already bought it, but you know, you can watch this and maybe you'll get some entertainment value out of it, or kind of nod your head in agreement that yes, that was a horrible way of designing it. So I've played it quite a bit, even though I haven't done a video on it. I've got a city that I think has about 40,000 people in it now. I'm not really sure. It's kind of gone up and down. And so we're going to load into that real quick, and I'll show you guys what I have. Let's see here. Oh, we're at 36,000. All right, so the way I kind of wanted to tackle this review is I've got some cons. I've got some kind of you know, it's not really a deal breaker. It's not a big thing, but kind of had me scratch my head a little bit. Why did they design it this way? And then I've got a list of like pros, the things I like about it. And I was just going to kind of run down the list as I had jotted them down. I was trying to keep tally of stuff as I was playing it, and like, okay, I did like this feature, I didn't like this feature. And while I'm talking at first, I'll let you stare at this horrible interchange I made. And apologize, I've got a little bit of a cold here. All right, so the first thing on the pros. This game is really good looking. I love it graphically speaking. There are lots of options for the graphics, and probably the thing that I noticed the most is you can go down here to color correction override, and you've got none, temperate, tropical, and like you do tropical, and it makes everything like a slightly different hue, I guess is the way greener or whatever. I think the default option is the one I was on, which is it Boreal? I'm not sure. We'll find out now. I think this is what I was on. Anyways, so yeah. The 3D animations, the amount of cars, the detail, I mean, you can zoom out here and still, I don't know how well this is going to show up in YouTube, but you can still, out here, I can still see little cars, like there's a little vehicle. But I mean, you can zoom out here and just see all the traffic, taking the interchanges, doing stuff like that. Zoom all the way around, you can pan, you can get down here and just all kinds of stuff. And I actually... I'll show you this here in a second, but I got a mod to go into like a first-person mode. I got it off the Steam Workshop, and that's how good the graphic detail is. You can go down into an almost first-person street view mode and see everything. And so I'm extremely impressed with it. It runs really well. I've got a city. I think the highest I got right now is 40,000. And it has not taxed my system at all. I haven't had any slowdowns, any chugs or anything. Now I've got a GTX 980 Ti in here, so it's a big card, not a 980, excuse me, an 870 Ti, and so I wasn't really expecting to have any performance issues, but at the same time, it's still just nice to see that they have a good engine that's handling it well, especially after the debacle that was CS5 or CS 2013, whatever you want to call it, and their whole glass box. All right, so let's see here. What else is on my pro list? All right, so the game looks really good. We've covered that. Another feature that I really liked, and I didn't think I was going to like, is they've got this deal where you can buy new sections as you upgrade. So you get certain population limits, and I'll go here to this. And so you start off, and like the first little thing you can reach is you get a population of 200, and that unlocks the features of taxes, loans. You get new services like garbage, healthcare, etc. And as you go on, you can unlock a new area, a new 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer section. Now, first I'd like to point out SimCity 5, if I remember right, their largest map was just 2 kilometers. So this square right there is as big as your map would get. And obviously that is not the case with Cities Skylines. So as you unlock those, you can like, this was right here is my main starting tile, and you can move, I think, 2 tiles in each direction, so you can have a max of 5 by 5, and you can buy those as you go. Now, I didn't think I was gonna like that at first, because I was like, just give me the whole thing. I want to expand. I want to do what I want. I really like the way they have the system set up. It's fun. It encourages you to fill up and use a new area, and then progressively move on, you know, as your city grows, and it gives it more of an organic feel as you're playing the game. So I really like that. I didn't think I would, and I do, and I'm happy about that. I like it when I'm pleasantly surprised by a feature that I didn't think was going to make a difference, or I didn't think was going to be a big deal, or I wasn't going to like, and then I turn out I do like it. So yes, that is very good. All right, now the next thing on my list, and I know everybody, you guys have all used Steam Workshop before, probably. I haven't used it extensively just because I don't really have any games that need it. But Steam Workshop is awesome. I'm going to exit out of this real quick. We'll just go back to the main menu. And playing SimCity 4, they had thousands and thousands and thousands of mods out there, but you had to download them off of like a third-party website, and they'd always come in some form of like an installer or a .exe that you'd have to drag into your SimCity 4 file, and you'd have to keep track of all your plugins, and some of them didn't work right, and you'd have to have different, props that would work with some and not the other. It was a mess. It worked. It came out in 2004. I'm not complaining about it, but it was a mess. Steam Workshop is great. First off, you've got this list here of like, cool different stuff that's out. Click on it, and all of a sudden you're like, boom. And I could download this interchange and just slap it down in my city with no problem. As soon as I exit out there. You can go down to Content Manager, and they've got Steam Workshop. You can just on, off, turn the mods on and off. Unlimited money. I don't use any of that stuff. I think these are on here default. I don't remember downloading those. We all know, Dave, you downloaded them, you cheater. No, I didn't do it. Anyways, all right, so we're going to jump back into the city. So the Steam Workshop, it works great. It's really easy to use with the interface that they have here with the UI and everything. And let me show you, since I'm on that topic, I will show you this first-person camera configuration here. So let's see, I go into this. No, how do I do it? I forget. I have to hit tab. All right, so I'm going to turn that off, and I hit tab, and I'm here in the water. Why am I in the water? Nobody knows. All right, we'll just walk around. But I mean, 10 years ago, if anybody remembers a game called Sim Theme Park, these graphics are better than Sim Theme Park in their first-person mode. And here goes a police car. We'll chase him down. Yeah, I move extremely fast. This is not me actually walking. You can go into the settings menu here. As soon as I figure out, there we go. You can go up here and like change your FPS camera configuration. Now this is a mod, this is not stock, so nobody freak out here. But you can change like your offset from the ground, your animation speeds, your movement speeds, stuff like that. And also the tab to toggle it on and off. This is just what I have mine set as because it seemed like a good everything for me. So you can kind of walk around and just see the details. I don't know. It's fun. It looks good. And it's kind of fun just to, build a city area and then kind of go down there and be like, all right, these are what the people have to walk around and this is what they have to look at. But this is the level of detail that the game has gone to. And I have been very impressed by it and happy. And that is that for the workshop in my first person mode. There we go. Every now and then I get confused in my controls, but that's all right. All right, the next thing that's on my pros list, that's, the game, it's a great city builder game. There's not really a whole lot to say. I was trying to build out like what I really like about the game that stands out. But I mean, honestly, once you get past like the 3D, the level of detail that's in the animation and the graphics, it really kind of just boils down to another city builder game. Except for a few small features. So, I mean, like, when it actually comes down to the gameplay, is this really that much different than, like, SimCity 4? No, it's not terribly different. There's a few small things, like, you've got your specialized industries and stuff like that, and, the way, like, the garbage system works or the schooling system. But, I mean, it's nothing that, like, stood out, like, completely mind-blowing that I was like, I've got to say that's on my pro list. But one thing that was on the pro list, and this is if you've really only played SimCity 4 and you skipped 2013 or the SimCity 5 2013, then you have not seen the beauty that is curved roads. And I was one of those guys that I've seen that they had Cities XL and Cities XXL, which I heard was horrible, by the way. But they also have SimCity 5, and all those have curved roads. I never really played any of those. I have them, and I played them like maybe a couple of weeks, but nothing that much. So curved roads are relatively new to me, and I love them. I mean, like, I love them. Look at that. Look at that sexy curve. That is hot stuff right there. Anyways, the way that the UI works and the controls work for roads is great. First off, you've got this. You can toggle and untoggle snapping. I never use the snapping. You've got your straight roads, and you can just lay them down like that. You've got just your curved roads, and then that automatically makes a curve. And then you've also got your free form road, whatever. And this is the one I use the most. Just leave this here. Yuck. All right, so the free form roads. This is the option that I use the most. And all right, so you see the dotted line. This is like, it took me like a day or so to figure out like what exactly they were doing. But now that I figured it out, it's super easy. So you throw this down, and then you're like, okay, I want the road to shoot off straight. But then, like, if you want a 90-degree curve, then you can just go 90 degrees from where your original road was, and it gives you the dotted line as I'm pointing to my monitor and you can't see it. It gives you the dotted line to show you exactly where that 90-degree marker is, and you can just, boom, eyeball it like that. And that's also really nice because there, I exited out of that particular road, and a lot of people will be like, oh, look, well, look at that horrible joint right there. Dude, that joint is no problem at all. Let's do some of this, and I'll lead straight off of that, and then boom. And it's very nice and roundy. And as you can see, I have pretty much roundified everything I possibly could. Check out my horrible cloverleaf here. Yeah, this was an experimental. It works. It ain't pretty, but it works. So, yeah. Anyways, all right, so that's everything that I really thought I wanted to put on my what I really like about the game list. Now I'm gonna go down some of the cons because let's be honest, you like Cities Skylines and I like Cities Skylines, and so it's more interesting to hear what we don't like about it because, well, it's the internet. And so I will go ahead and pull up my list here and we'll get started on that. All right, so on my list, the first thing that I don't like, and honestly and completely honest, this is the first thing that I noticed in the game and I had to adjust my audio for, is this horrible, wretched noise. And let me just turn on my audio here so you get the full effect of what I have to go through. So I like the freeform roads, right? All right, it's not even that loud. I'll make this really loud for you guys because this is it's just the way it's got to be. Listen to this road noise right here. In all of its sweet glory. That thing is annoying, and I don't know why you put it in the game. Like, oh my goodness. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And if you want any of the other noises, then there's no separate thing to just turn off the annoying noise sound. So that was the first thing. Second thing on my list also has to do with sound. And let me see if I can find an area here. If you find an area like close to a hospital, where's my hospital? I have one around here somewhere. Oh, there we are. All right, I'm not gonna find it. I know it's gonna do this to me. Let me find a section of town that has a lot of sirens real quick. Okay, alright, so wasn't that hard to find. A lot of sections of town have a lot of sirens, like especially busier sections. Now, police cars, fire engines, and ambulances make the exact same sound for the siren. And if you zoom in close enough, you can hear it. Like almost all the time. And it's loud, and it's annoying. And I want it to stop. There's a fire right here, so I mean, I guess I can accept that there's like a fire truck around here somewhere. But there's a lot of siren sounds all the time, and it's loud and it's obnoxious. And I don't know. Constantly, I'm just and I'm like, holy cow, just shut up. Nobody cares. So yeah. All right. So those are the things I didn't like about the audio, and I'm gonna fix my audio. Speaking of which, master volume. Effects, yeah, that'll work for now. And we will go on to the next thing that I noticed, like literally the next thing I noticed in game. We need to find more of a suburban area that I actually really hate, and that is grass, lawns and grass. Now, this is nice grass. This is like supposed to be wilderness grass. You know, I'll give them that, whatever. Does nobody in like wherever they created this game, does nobody have a lawn? I mean, like, you've got some pretty nice places here. You know, that's got to be a couple $100,000 house at least. And, like, they don't have a lawn at all. And even in the houses that aren't surrounded by dirt, I mean, I'm sure there's some, yeah, like this guy right here. It's just, they've just got the natural grass look. And, I don't know, to me it looks really weird. Because you zoom out and, like, it's nice suburban neighborhood. And you're thinking, like, yeah, it's going to be grass everywhere. You know, nice green, fertile lawns. And instead you get, like, this kind of brown thing going on. And it just, I don't know, it's weird. And apparently over in Europe, nobody has lawns. Here in America, we have lawns, people, and they're nice. And I would have preferred if they had lawns. So, that's the way it goes. The next thing that is on my list is this game was developed over in Europe, so I'm not begrudging them for anything, but I'm used to like SimCity, which as far as I know was developed here in the US, and everything has words. Like you want to go into your taxation and it says like roads or school system or something of that effect. Now, I'm assuming this is probably because like they have so many different languages over there, but everything's done in like pictures. And yeah, you can mouse over it and like pull up weekly expenses and stuff, but like tiny little bus. It's a very tiny little bus. And instead of having a word that just says like medical, you got like this red blodge. And there, weekly healthcare expenses. So, I don't know. I would have preferred words, but it is what it is. And like you go to adjust everything, instead of having words that say like transit or boating or fire department, I've got a fire hat. And once you get used to it after a little while, it's alright, but I didn't care for it at first for sure. Alright, the next thing on my list would be the trash. The trash scaling and usage in this game is like, quite honestly, the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. So I'm gonna be honest, I've never like lived in a huge city. I've been to large cities and stuff, but I've never really paid attention to certain facilities like trash. I'm assuming most cities have like a couple transfer stations and like a large dump, or a dump and a recycling center or two and a distribution center, maybe like 4 or 5 facilities at most. The trash scaling in this game is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like I've got incinerators now, so it's not bad, but incinerators are something that you have to unlock through that achievement level up system that I was talking about. And before you get that, you have just what they call just dumps, just landfills. And at one point for this city, before it was even like half this size, okay, I'll just say a city this size without any incinerators, you need roughly like probably 14 to 15 landfills. And so like I had like 2 over here, and I had 1 like right in the middle of my commercial area, and I had 1 right where this university is, and I had 1 over here, and I had like 2 up here, and I had 1. It was ridiculous. And like the amount of trash that was like, in fact, here's a dump right now that's not a dump, excuse me. Here's the dump. This one is empty now because I've been emptying it into my incinerators, but it was full at one time, and now that it's empty, I can actually delete it and get rid of it. And so before you get incinerators, the trash in this game is just ludicrous. Like, and even now, the amount of trash that we produce, like, I'm a fairly small city. I've got 36,000 people here. I mean, that's not large by any real world means standards. And I have to have I think I've got 8 incinerators total, 7 incinerators, and we're burning a little more than we take in, but not by much. And it just seems like super excessive amount of trash. I mean, like, holy crap, how much are you guys throwing away, really? And so if I were to tweak one of their settings, it would definitely be like how much trash a city produces, because it seems like way outscaled and just not even right at all. So that's another thing that I was like, it's definitely I don't like about it. I was like, what? All right, so the next thing on my list, no terrain modifying. Now, I know I went over this in my normal video, like the one I did before that hopefully you watched, where it was actually before this game came out, and I was like, no terrain is going to be modifying. It's going to be a big deal. And honestly, it's like probably the biggest thing for me. I hate it. So, no terrain modifying. I don't want to be able to knock down an entire mountain or gouge out like a giant canyon, but I want to do simple stuff. So like in the terrain editor, I built this map. As you can see, hopefully you like it. Actually, I'm going to the free camera mode here. Hopefully you like it. It's pretty much just like a giant canyon and crap everywhere. Anyways, I put like this little like stream thing in, and when I was building it, water did not flow over into this area. But then I started the map, and it did. It flowed right over here, and there was nothing I could do about it, except I was able to put a road down and like jack it up a little bit, because when you place roads, it like modifies the height of stuff. As you can see, like I could build it up there, and wait, I'm trying to get out of here. And now, like, see how the water like changed it. Anyways, little stuff is the stuff that I knew was going to be the problem, and the small stuff like that, like I just wanted to raise the height a little bit so water wouldn't flow into where I wanted to put my city. Or like the biggest thing that gets me is you go to place a road and look at this wavy road. Like, who the heck builds that? Like, IRL, if a city manager had like, hey mayor, we're done with the road, like, the surveyor, the construction company, and the city manager probably would have been fired. And there are those sirens again. My goodness. Anyways, but I mean, it's just like all the way. If I was able to modify the terrain even a little bit, I'm not saying I could make it perfectly smooth, but I could have built up this little ridge right here so I didn't have this weird bridge thing going on. This hump I could have flattened out a little bit, even just slightly. And really, when we were building this, we couldn't put one more dump truck worth of dirt right there. I mean, just like fill that gap in, seriously. This isn't the chive, get rid of the gap. Anyways, small stuff like that. I wish that they had even the slightest bit of terrain modifier. I don't know if it's something they can ever fix or can fix via mods. I hope, but it would be nice. Like I said, I don't want to move mountains. I just want to like be able to fill in potholes pretty much. And you would end up with a lot less like wavy roads. And you can like almost never put your highway on the same height. And highways are split sections, so you do like one in this direction and one in that direction. And they almost end up like split, and I'm so tired of those sirens. So yeah, the no terrain modifying, big deal for me. I really wish they would have fixed that, but it is what it is. The next thing that is a big killer for me also is apparently there's this glitch in the game where at some point in the game, some people had it at population of 10,000, some people had it happen at a population of 30,000 like myself, 36,000. Some people said they got up to like 120,000 before it hit. But at some point, your city just like dies, like completely dead. So you can see down here, these are supposed to be my RCI indicators, residential, commercial, industrial. And like, it is not, you can see that I do not have demand for anything. I have done everything I possibly can. I downloaded a mod to change my commercial call, like how much I need. What's the word I'm looking for? My demand, my commercial demand, and that didn't help. I've got connections that I established. I fixed traffic patterns. I educated people. I got more schools and stuff. I got rid of schools. I even deleted commercial areas, thinking that maybe that'd spark something, just kind of unhook it, and pretty much it's just completely dead. The city is completely dead. Now, on the forums, I was looking for a solution, and apparently quite a few people have this exact same issue. So hopefully it's something that the devs are looking at and will be fixed soon. But until then, don't get too attached to your city, because at some point it will die. And there you are. But I was able to build a nice little city. Everything still functions. I'm still making money, but I mean, I can put down roads, but as you can see, not a whole lot happens with, I mean, like this area I have zoned right now, and it's just nothing. So it is what it is, but hopefully that will be fixed soon. All right, now the next thing on my list of stuff I wanted to cover, and this stuff I put under like a section. I don't know. It's not like horrible stuff. It's not good stuff. It's definitely not horrible stuff that's like a con for the game. But I kind of had me scratching my head a little bit. I don't know. Stuff I would have preferred they'd done differently. Like, first thing, industrial. Why do I look like I'm in Willy Wonka's like freaking chocolate factory? There is so much color in the industrial area. It's so bright and so much color, so much red. And so much blues and greens and stuff. I mean, like, so multicolored. It doesn't give it that dirty, gritty, industrial feel that I think it should have. I know the rest of the game is a little bit, it's a little bit more cartoony looking. I mean, I don't know. Cartoony is not the right word. It's got more of a cartoon artistic sway, I guess. I don't know. But as far as this goes, the industrial, like, it hurts. Because, like, you've got nice blue-hued city, and reflective windows, and it's very, very nice and sexy looking. And then this. And you can see it from space. Look at the color. Not good. So yeah, I really would have preferred if they'd done like a darker, grittier, deeper look to it, but it is what it is. And I know you can change the color options here, but even if I go to like temperate, it just like changes the hue of the red, and it looks even worse. Like the colors are just more like popping out at you and like, waha, we're here. So I don't know. I really wish they would have gone a slightly different direction with the industrial color, but it's also something that could be changed via mods. So, All right, the next thing would be the cars on the streets. Now, I know this has probably been mentioned before, but like, you go into a small residential... Freaking sirens, I hate you. Go away. You go into a residential area like this, and first off, this guy, he owns that car, really? Anyways, I'll stay away from that. You have this beautiful driveway. Park on it, you fool. I mean, like, just make a right-hand turn and park there. But no, everybody likes to park on the streets. And if it happened a little bit, I could understand, but the amount that it happens... I mean, They are capable of parking in the driveway, as you can see. I mean, that's a sports car there, owned by Albert Jones, and he's happy. But 99% of the people like to park out on the street, and it's a little ridiculous. Now, in a really populated section of town, like with these high rises, I can expect it. I mean, where else are you going to park? I mean, they might have some underground parking or something, some parking structures, but the street's the logical choice. And so, all right, that's cool. I can live with that. But in the smaller residential areas, it doesn't look right, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. Let's see here. And that was really all I had one other complaint, but then as I was complaining about it, or thinking about like how I was going to do the video, I realized a fix for it. So, I'll just show you guys. Maybe nobody else has realized this. When you're like placing roads and you're like doing stuff like roads, it gives you this message. All right, there. You cannot go over railroads. And so I thought originally that I always had to do this maneuver, and that's how you get over roads, which I thought, or over railroads, which I thought was really stupid. And so I was like, why didn't you guys? That was gonna be part of my complaint. Why didn't you guys make it so you can just have a normal road crossing where you have like the little bars come down and the ding, 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 and that whole bit. You can actually do that. What you have to do is you have to like go up to it and then continue. And why they have you do it that way, I don't know. I didn't figure it out right away. I've been doing city builders since like 2000 and like, not even 2000, since like 1997 or whenever SimCity like the original came out. And this is the first time I've seen it done like this. But whatever, I figured it out. So hopefully that'll help somebody. Yeah. So anyways, got off on a distraction there. So yeah, all in all, definitely recommend buying the game. I really like it. It's a gorgeous game. It's lots of fun to play, and I'm sure they will fix those few small things, hopefully, maybe, that I mentioned. I know I'm not the only person that realized what was going on. And so yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm really planning on doing a Let's Play. I downloaded this Hong Kong map that somebody made where it's like a replica of the Hong Kong area, and it looks super fun to play on. I'm really excited about that, and I want to do a whole Let's Play for it. So yeah, if you had any other questions, feel free to post a comment in the comment section. You know, tell me what I did wrong, what I could have done differently or whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.